been here for a long time, but recently was reborn under the ownership of longtime diner manager Nick. Scrumptious home cooking, large portions, and good prices seem to be the right recipe here.
We bought this about 2.5 years ago. It was a good opportunity that came along, and it was something that was already established. The customers, most of the employees have been here long term, and it's always nice to try something different that you can kind of guide your own way with, so I figured why not try it. A lot of the recipes, they kept the same. We kept all the vendors the same, but most of it is like very decent pricing for the portion of food that they get and the quality. All the customers are mostly local. They've been coming here since they were kids. Everything from scratch.
It's a good breakfast.
You can always get your basic breakfast, your basic lunch, your basic dinner. It's something that you're not going to find in a lot of places.
People come in here and they say to me, oh my God, it's so beautiful. With the brick background, the pillars and the beams and the flooring, like it's easy to do and I love to do it. It's an optimal place to have an antique store. When you come in the door, this is a seasonal area that I change up. It's always filled with new and old. It's a large variety of customers from the young to the old, the novice collectors. Right now it's 50s, 60s, and 70s things that we grew up with. We have some Victorian pieces here. This is an Empire piece that's really old from like 1850. We always have a lot of lighting, stained glass windows. That is a stained glass window from a church over in Lansford.
This is Freddie. I love it. It makes me happy all day. I just love being here with the cats.
Our one daughter went away on vacation. They visited a cat cafe and they came back with a cat. And I thought, wow, that is a cool concept. We're both cat lovers, fell in love instantly. It took several years to actually find the right building, the right location. We bought the building, renovated it perfectly just for the cats. We made a little environment room with a coal theme. We definitely want to theme it with the town, of course, you know, because we love the town.
Fits the town perfectly.
He's gorgeous. We put the fun in fundraiser, don't we? We had a dear friend from the United Methodist Church. It was her dream to do this. All she was expecting was like a closet of the church, which is where your sister's closet sprung. The original Tom Barrow barber shop. My husband, the pastor, and I, we've owned this building for the last 15 years since Mr. Barrow stopped being the barber at 92. We said, well, what about this place? We know it's small, but it meets all of our requirements. Back in the day, there was the Schuylkill Mall, but that is no longer there. So ladies north of the mountain have nowhere to shop. This is Jones of New York. It's not rummage sale type of clothes. It's the better grade things. Everything is sorted, labeled for sizes, inspected. We sanitize things, we sew things.
The restaurant started when we purchased my husband's generational family farm. When the farm was looking for a new generation to run it, we were honored to step in, but we wanted to put our own spin on it. So we decided to raise beef cattle with no intention of it turning into what it did today. We got 4 cows and then we got 6 and 10 and 20 and it just grew. A lot of work behind a food truck. We just thought, how could we use our time better, like efficiently, and reach more people? When this place became available, I was like, that is definitely the one. I loved the brick, I loved the location. This is where I was raised, so I wanted to bring it to Tamaqua. There's a giant learning curve in anything you do. I felt that if I could just continue delivering the product we've been delivering, all of our customers would be patient with the other things, and that's exactly what it's been so far.
Lots of history. If only they could talk. It was empty prior to me buying the building back in 1997. It probably would have been lost. I was just out of high school, didn't really know what I wanted coming out of high school, like most, but I love historical buildings, always did. These are all original to the movie theater. The restroom signs, they're all original. Just the tin in the building alone, the painting and how it held up. The trees that you see behind me here are actually all hand painted on canvas. From that time, presumably they would do vaudeville. When you look back, it's more than a quarter century. It doesn't seem it. There's kids that were skating here years ago. Now they have their own kids, and they're having their kids' parties here.
They're just pretty incredible. So we were crystal collectors since we were young. I would have the metal coffee containers full of crystals. It really started with that, and then just got to this. My favorite, because of digging for crystals, is quartz.
We raised our children together and kind of just grew and learned and went through things
together about 10 years ago. Me and Mandy used to watch Crystal live shows. We just got so into them.
At that point, these things that we're into are kind of part of a very special demographic, community, belief system, and we were like, okay, it's validated.
It is the original jail of Mount Carmel. 1880s to 1920 or 30s. Our parking lot is the original brick road in Mount Carmel on Oak Street.
It's perfect for sure. It's in a great location. The building itself just is very much our style.
It's real tiny inside, but because of the space outside, gave us so much more opportunity to have tons of cool events.
Welcome to the farm store. It was a journey. My husband and I have a farm. It's called Honeybrook Farm. It's outside Schuylkill Haven. We raise beef, pork, chicken. The property was once my great-grandmother's. When we purchased it from our family, we weren't quite sure what to do with it. We started to sell meat directly to the consumer. And we had a growing customer base in Pottsville that we were really trying to capitalize on and be able to provide for. We went to the city of Pottsville and they ended up leading us to this building. Summer sausage and cheese, all from local farms. We have over 30 farms that are supplying us. People are becoming more in touch with what they're buying and the food that they're eating. They want to know what's going into their body.
I think it's great. I do see a lot of these people at the farmers market in Origsburg once a month, so it's nice that they're all in one location year round.
Hello, how's your day? I was that girl in the classroom drawing horses when she should have been doing homework.
This is 7 days a week, 365.
I've been doing this now about 11 years. I got into it through my uncle who came over to the United States from Slovakia, and in Slovakia he actually logged with horses. So he met Mr. Leiby at a parade because horse people tend to gravitate to horse people. He started helping him out. One snowy winter, he called in his very thick accent, says, "You want to come sleigh ride?" "Yeah, I'll come sleigh ride." So we came out and did a sleigh ride, and I just absolutely fell in love. I went to Mrs. Leiby and Mr. Leiby at the time, and I said, "Hey, how do you feel about me being a barn rat?" And they kind of looked at me funny as, "You want to work?" And so, well, if I can hang out with the horses, yeah, I'd love to work. So that's how it kind of started. Come on, boys. They were really becoming a bright spot in my life, and it was kind of a crossroads of someone needs to take over with the horses or they're going to go down the line. And I just couldn't let that happen. I talked to my husband and I said, "What do you think about taking over a carriage service?" And he said, "Okay." So at that point, we took over the business. Good boys. Come on, Hen. Hey, Bill. How's your day?
I had a vision for a boutique, and I put that vision to light in Origsburg in 250 square feet, bringing like-minded folks, talented crafters to the Origsburg area. Delicious candies made to order. She has been with us since the beginning. She is out of Frackville. We outgrew our space. She's been with us since Schuylkill Haven. She does all of her wooden signs. February of 2023, relocated to Pottsville, and we were able to bring in 75 vendors. Lady Lenora's crystals, Longaberger baskets, and they're new. You give them a platform for them to be able to display their talent and not have to have a storefront of their own. People love these things. They love the sayings. They love the scents. These are really cool for wine drinkers. You just put them around the bottle to dress them up.
Hello! I've been moved to Schuylkill County in 2005 from Vietnam. Frackville is where I love the most. I have a lot of customer base here. I just love the area.
I either do cat eye or French tip. I very much so like the service that I get here. I think that they're very personable people.
Well, I like to help women feel confident. They do something good for themselves. I like to transform from nothing to something.
I'm having my nails and pedicure today. Special event coming up on the weekend.
People are like, wow, and have an aha moment when they look at the nail. Everybody nail have different thickness, different length. We just customize it, depend on what they need, what their activity is, what their lifestyle is.
That looks phenomenal. Thank you.
I grew up in Bethlehem. I started in 1991 as a dishwasher. I worked my way up through the ranks. We had Madeline's in Origsburg. Tamaqua Station is the 11th restaurant that I've worked at.
And may I take a contact name and telephone number for your reservation?
We ended up here because there was a Facebook post that said the previous owners were leaving. I came up in January of 16 to check it out. We were fortunate enough to be able to sign a lease, and 10 years later we're rocking and rolling.
Oh, look at that.
I love food, I love history, and I love trains. It's all here.